Hello, Instagram. What's up? I hope you can hear me okay. If you're on, just give me a little comment that you can hear me. Right now, what I want to do, and today what we planned on doing, is to do a little tapping. Oh shit, where's my notes? Hold on. To do a little tapping for food cravings. One of the reasons I'm doing this is because I really miss tapping with you. I work a lot on my business, and that has taken me away from being with you and tapping with you, and that is like the thing that I love more than anything in the world. So I was actually going to do a little tapping for myself, and I just thought, why not do it with you, with the community? So I have just recently, well, actually, for the past couple years, I've been struggling with some energy problems and adrenal fatigue. And one of the biggest things they say when you have adrenal fatigue is do not drink coffee. And man, do I like coffee. And so I thought, you know what? Why not use one of my techniques that I know will get rid of this? It will get rid of this craving. I'll be able to control myself around coffee. I won't drink coffee anymore. Why not just use one of my techniques? And I haven't had the courage to do it because I just love coffee so much. And I forget that most people feel like this about a lot of foods. And what's so cool, if you don't know what I do, or if you don't know about tapping, is that when you do this tapping technique, the way that I teach it, of course, because I teach it a little bit different than most people, it gets rid of your food craving. And it doesn't make you never want to have it again. What it does is it makes you be able to just have a little bit. And I don't drink that much coffee, but I definitely, if it's in the house, I drink it. And so that's the way I like to categorize food cravings, is that if it's in the house and you can't stop thinking about it, that's when you know you have a food craving. Okay. And that's when you know you have a problem with it. Okay. So, if you buy chips and then you end up eating the whole bag, if you buy a chocolate bar and you end up polishing off the whole bar, or if you have ice cream and you can't stop eating the ice cream, right? These are, this is a sure sign that you have some problems with that food. All right. So I'm also today going to be talking about 3 reasons you're still overeating. Okay. And these are 3 brand new reasons that I've never talked about. There's been about 4 years that I've been studying and researching new stuff and trying new things and haven't come out with any new content yet. So I put together this live event and it's happening in June, and I'm going to be debuting some of my newest content, which is really cool. And I'm going to give you a little taste of it today. And then if you want to know more about the live event, or if you want to come to the live event, it's brittanywatkins.com/live. I'll put the link somewhere here so that you can check it out. So if you can, grab some food, grab whatever your craving food is. And if you're on here live, will you just tell me what it is that you're that you have a problem with? Like, what's the food that you crave that you want to stop eating? Mine is coffee. So I poured myself a nice little coffee. I mix it, this is cold brew, and I mix it with milk, but it's not just any milk. This is, oh, you can't read it, it's backwards. Milked walnuts. It is so freaking good. My neighbor just got me on this, and I can't stop drinking it. It is so freaking good. It is like, I don't know. It's like heaven in your mouth. Okay, so the very first thing that you have, chocolate. Hi, Mallory. Hi, Teb. Hi, Lauren. Okay, you guys, how funny is this? We sent the whole list an email saying that I was going to go live on Facebook, and then just before we went live, we realized that I don't have admin access to my own page, so I'm only live here on Instagram, which is fun. I've never done this before, so this is good. Okay, so if it's chocolate peanut butter cups, if it's whatever it is, junk food, okay. So Heidi, pick a junk food. Don't just say junk food, pick a food. So I'm glad that you said that. So this technique works. It only works if you have one specific food. And so also I saw somebody post chocolate and chips. Just pick one for this exercise. Okay. And so I teach tapping, which is basically cognitive psychology paired with acupressure. If you've never done it, don't worry, just follow along and do exactly what I'm doing. Okay, so the very first thing that you do is you want to rate how strong your food craving is. Okay, so on a scale from 0 to 10, so 0 is no craving at all, and 10 is like the highest it could possibly be. So I'm going to do this, which I've never done this before. I've never tried to like tap on myself and you at the same time, but I do teach my coaches that they can do this, and So we'll see. They're not usually on film though. All right, so rate your desire. So have a taste of chocolate, have a chip. Notice what your desire for it is on a scale from 0 to 10. What's your desire to have more of it? So most people will say, okay, Lauren says 10, potato wafers, 10, awesome. Hi, Gil. I've got like half my friends on here. That's great. Thanks, guys. Thanks for supporting me. Okay. All right. So what is your number? I see 2 10s. Who else? Come on. I know there's more of you that are actually doing this. Mallory's a 10. Okay, cool. All right. So what you do now is, what you want to do is take this food, and I want you to think about the first time you ate this food, if it's a drink, the first time you drank this drink, or what the drink reminds you of. All right, so for me, I know that it's connected to an ex-boyfriend of mine, who is not just an ex-boyfriend, he's my favorite ex-boyfriend. He used to drink coffee. He loved coffee. And before I started dating him, I never drank coffee. I grew up Mormon and we didn't drink coffee in our house. So I don't have any early associations with this food. But most people will go back to a time and they'll think about a person that they used to eat this food with or drink this drink with when they were very young. So I want you to think about who that is. So think about who this reminds you of, or who you used to eat this food with. Like, so some examples that I always say are, people will say every Friday my mom would get pizza and the whole family was around and we would eat pizza and it was such a fun time because everybody was relaxed. Or on Sundays I would go, my dad would come pick me up and he was never around and we would go get ice cream and drive around on the back of his motorcycle. And that was a really cherished time. Or like, I know for me, I used to have a big problem with cookies, with chocolate chip cookies. And for me, that related to my grandmother. I used to bake chocolate chip cookies with my grandma in her kitchen. And that was such a lovely time for me. I loved my grandma. She made me feel so warm and fuzzy all the time. And so whenever I would eat chocolate chip cookies, it would remind me of my grandmother's love. And so that's what this does, is subconsciously, when you eat this food or when you drink this drink, it reminds you of that person that you shared this really nice experience with. And for some reason, this doesn't happen for everybody, but for people who have trouble with food, this is just how your brain works. Your brain's wires are crossed. So you have, like, think about your brain like a filing cabinet, right? So you have grandma's love in one filing cabinet and cookies in another filing cabinet, right? Because they're two different things. This is love and this is cookies. Well, in your brain, if you have a problem, these two things are combined. So you've got cookies in the grandma's love folder, or whatever your thing is. And so what you have to do, and what this tapping exercise does, is it reorganizes the filing cabinet. So you take the cookies and you put it in the cookie section, and grandma's love stays in the grandma's love section, okay? So, all right, let's get started. So what I want you to do is, again, think about this person that you used to eat this food with. Who is it? And if you can't think of somebody, you might have a different problem, which is emotional eating, and I have a totally separate technique for that, and I'll have to teach that to you. Actually, I have a free video. If you go to tapwithbrit.com, you can get a free video for that problem. That's something totally different than this is. So I don't want you to do this and be like, oh, it's not working, because you need a totally different technique, and we don't have time to do 2 techniques today. Okay, so I want you to visualize this person. Imagine that they're there in front of you. And you're going to start tapping through the points. So visualize them, but open your eyes. If you don't know what tapping is, follow along the points with me. Imagine they're standing there in front of you. And what I want you to do is take the feelings. So as you feel this 10, this like, I love this food. I love this chocolate. I love my coffee. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to scoop I don't know how to do this on camera. I'm going to scoop those feelings out of the food and bring them into my body. Okay, so that's step number 1, is that your feelings and your emotions are actually here when they need to be here in your body. Okay, so sometimes for me, Heidi says, my grandpa would pick me up and take me to a basketball game, and he would always bring a large chocolate candy bar to share. Perfect example. So I'm assuming that you probably have have a problem with chocolate, Heidi. Okay. So scoop the feelings out of the food and bring them into your actual body. Sometimes I physically have to do it. I do it a couple times. And then what you want to do, there's a lot of things going on here. Imagine this food and this feeling becomes a big iridescent ball of light. Okay, just imagine that it becomes a ball of light. It can be any color you want. Start tapping through the points And I want you to send this ball of light from your heart to that person's heart. Okay, so they're standing in front of you. And imagine them receiving this feeling from you, this gift from you. And look at their face and look at how they smile and look how happy they are to receive this feeling from you. And then see and watch as they send this ball of light from their heart back to your heart. All right, so tapping through the points here. Keep tapping along. And I want you to imagine, so just get really good at this. So these are all the points. If you don't know where the points are, just follow me. This is your collarbone point. Oh, my necklace is off center. There's some other points like under the arm, but I'm gonna skip that just because it's kind of hard. Oh no, I guess you can see. There's another point that's like right just on the center of your body, kind of like where, if you're a girl, where your bra line goes across your rib cage. And then the tippy top of your head. So you're just gonna tap through these points. Remember what this tastes like. Okay, so I've got to actually do this. Send this taste, which is now inside of your body, from your heart to that person's heart. Okay, and sometimes this is really emotional for people, so I want you to really get good at this. So as you tap through the points, just imagine this taste and all these good feelings going from your heart to their heart, and from their heart back to your heart. So you're kind of like playing catch with this taste and this feeling. So each time you do this, each time you pass this ball of light back and forth, just remember what this food tastes like. Remind yourself of what it tastes like, right? Oh, it's so good. The chocolate is so yummy. The coffee is so... If you forget, you can have another little bite. Okay, so I have to actually do this. Oh, I have to send it to my ex-boyfriend. I don't want to send it to him. All right, so there can be some resistance to this too, because what we feel like is this food and this thing becomes our friend. It becomes the thing that comforts us. And when we think about giving up this food, it can be really sad and scary. So if you're feeling emotional right now, that's totally, totally normal. There's a lot of people cry during this part. And so I just want you to continue to pass, this is called the ball of light. So pass the ball of light while you're tasting this food back and forth between this person. So what you're doing is this is you reorganizing the filing cabinet in your brain, right? It's going into your heart and into their heart. So what you're doing is you're separating the love from the food, okay? So keep tapping through the points here. Taste the food in your mind, feel all those really good feelings. And just send that taste and all those good feelings back and forth. Back and forth. Keep tasting the food in your mind, feeling all those really good feelings. Oh, this is hard for me to do while I'm teaching you guys how to do it and doing it to myself at the same time. I didn't think this all the way through. Actually, I think I can. So probably what you're going to do is you're going to remember, you're going to go back to a time, you're going to go back to the times that you used to share this food with that person, right? And that was probably a really happy time. So if you want to stay here and kind of hang out and like talk to that person and be with that person, if it's somebody that's maybe passed, or if it's somebody that you don't get to spend a lot of time with, this part can actually feel really good. But I want you to just keep tapping while you're tasting the food in your mind, okay? I know this is a lot going on, but this will be really good for you, I promise. All right, so take a nice deep breath. Stop tapping for a minute. And what we're going to do now is we're just going to check our results, okay? So go back to the food again. I'm going to do the same. And now what I want you to do is rate your desire to have more on a scale from 0 to 10. Okay, so one of the things that will start to happen is the food will start to taste different. Okay, so... you know, if it's a bag of chips, you might start tasting the chemicals. If it's chocolate, and if it's not like really good chocolate, you might start tasting the chemicals in that. Or these are all really good ingredients. This just is starting to taste like nothing to me. So it just tastes like milky water, actually. That's all I taste. So your taste buds will actually shift. So leave me a comment and let me know what your number is now on a scale from 0 to 10. So I think mine went from like an 8 to a 5. Some people will go from a 10 to a 0 just from doing that, but there was a lot going on. Leave me a comment and let me know. All right, we're gonna do one more round of the ball of light, okay? So take whatever number you are still, and again, scoop the feelings out of the food and bring them into your heart. Okay, and again, just play catch with this feeling from your heart to their heart, from their heart back to your heart, okay? So just keep passing it back and forth while you tap through the points, okay? Imagine sending this ball of light, sending this taste and all these good feelings from your heart to their heart, and from their heart back to your heart. Taste the food in your mind. Feel all those good, yummy, yummy feelings. Remember what it was like to share that time with them. Remember how much fun you had. Remember how loved you felt. And then remember how that food tastes at the same time. Keep tapping through the points. And then take a nice deep breath. Keep tapping through the points, and I want you to just in your mind walk over to them and give them a hug and tell them how important they were to you in your life. Whew, I gotta do this too. Okay. Okay. And you can stay here and keep talking to that person for as long as you want. If that person, sometimes people haven't connected with the person that they shared this food with in a really, really long time. And so the person will have a lot to tell them and they'll want to talk and catch up. And if that's how you're feeling right now, that's totally okay. You can always come back and do this. But what I want you to do, just for the sake of like learning how to do this technique, take a nice deep breath right now. And go back to the food, have another taste, and figure out what your number is on a scale from 0 to 10. I think I'm like a 3. Okay, so now this part is important. This is well, it's not more important than the first part, but if you don't do this part, you might still crave the food after this. Heidi's a 2 now. Okay, cool. So a lot of times when people go back and they just tell that person how much they love them and how much they meant to them, that can really take your craving down, right? Because what you're missing is that connection. So Heidi, just before that, you were a 6, and then like we spent 30 seconds doing a little bit more tapping, and you went down all the way to a 2. So a lot of times this is a missing link for people, and this is why traditional tapping doesn't work as well for food issues and for weight loss, which is hopefully why you guys like my stuff. All right. So now what you want to do is you want to notice what you still like about it. Okay. So for me, I still like the creaminess of this. So there's something like hazelnutty and kind of creamy and yeah, like the nutty flavor, I guess, is what I like about it. Heidi, notice what you still like about it. Even if you're a 2, which is nothing, right? Heidi, you started at a 10. This was like, 10 minutes ago. You were at a 10 salivating over this chocolate, and now you're at a 2. But it's really important that we get it down to an actual 0. This is the only way that I've known to never have a problem with that food ever again. What this technique does is it will literally give you the power to take it or leave it. It is so cool. I had a friend who, I don't know if he's still on, but he was just here. I did this on him a couple months ago, maybe 6 months ago, 6 months ago, and still doesn't eat the food. Used to eat these foods. I think we did three different foods. He used to eat these foods every single day, and hasn't had any desire or temptation to eat the food. And this is, of course, what I've been doing for the last 9 years. So that's just one story. Okay, so Heidi says the peanuts in the chocolate. Cool. Okay, so let's notice what you still like about it. So I like the nutty flavor too. I'm just me and you, Heidi, we're gonna do this. We're gonna work on our craving for the nuttiness of what we're eating. All right, so for you, it could be the creaminess, it could be the way the chocolate and the peanut butter combine, it could be the sweetness of the chocolate, it could be the chocolatiness, it could be the crunchiness of the chip, it could be the saltiness of the cheese. Whatever it is, you want to notice what it is that you still like about it. Okay, this is called aspect work. So you want to notice what aspect you still like about the food. All right, and then just repeat after me. So I still really love that nuttiness of the chocolate. it makes me feel so good. I don't want to give it up. Okay, Gil says the creaminess of the chocolate. Good. I don't want to give it up. I just love this creaminess. I love this nutty flavor. I love the way it makes me feel. All right, just focus on one thing at a time, okay? Mallory says the melting aspect. Cool. So just notice what that makes you feel like. So feel the melting aspect. I bet that part of it is like, you kind of helps your body relax, right? A lot of times the thing that you still like about it will actually, it will actually like inspire it'll trigger an actual emotion. So a lot of times smoothness and creaminess is like soothing. It's like love. Or crunchiness is excitement. Saltiness is excitement. Crunchiness is stress relief. Okay, so there's a lot of times there's a combination of something that you still like about it and an emotion that it sparks in you. Gil says the warm feeling. Okay, yeah, the warm feeling. Think about what that does for you. How does that make you feel when you have that warm feeling? What does that make you feel? It makes you feel probably cozy and warm, right? Just like grandma's love or mom's love or somebody who loves you that you used to drink this drink with, right? Okay, so just focus on that aspect now. Keep tapping through the points. That warm feeling. I just love that warm feeling. And you want to repeat after me. Say this out loud, okay? I don't want to give up this warm feeling. I don't want to give up this nuttiness. It's so good. What will I do without my chocolate? What will I do without my coffee? How will I wake up in the morning? Sometimes it's how will I feel happy? How will I give myself that relief in the day? Right? So you start to think about all the things that you're going to miss if you don't have this food during this part. Okay? So I want you to say those things out loud. All right? I don't want to give this up. I don't know how I'll wake up. Green tea's just not the same. Right? I'm going to be so tired if I don't have my coffee in the morning. So say whatever feels natural for you, okay? I just love that warm feeling the coffee, the drink gives me. I think you're working on coffee too, Gil. Mallory, I just love that feeling of meltiness. I don't want to give this up. What will I do without my favorite food? Life just won't be the same. I don't want to give this up. And sometimes you can actually get a little bit rebellious, right? So there could be like you could start to feel this rebellious nature, like, I don't want this to work. I don't want to give this up. Don't take this away from me. You can even start feeling mad at me for changing the way that you feel about this food. I've had all sorts of reactions. So say whatever is coming up that's natural to you. So I don't know. I'm feeling a little bit rebellious right now. So like, don't take my coffee away. I want my coffee. It's mine and you can't take it away from me. Don't take my coffee away. It's mine, so there. Okay. Isa says, yep. All right. Do I have some rebels in the house? That's good. All right, so feel that rebellious feeling. Feel that like, don't take this away from me. It's mine. Or what will I do without, if I don't have this food, how will I spend my time? How will I feel happy if I don't have this food? Okay, when I say that, I want you to really say that and feel it at the same time. The only way that you can do this wrong is if you're thinking about something else other than the way that you're feeling while you're tapping. Okay, so if you're thinking about like doing your laundry or your to-do list or something, then you're probably going to do this wrong and it won't work for you. So just remember, whenever you say it out loud, whatever you're saying, whatever phrase, make sure you're really feeling it in your body, okay? Keep tapping through the points. How will I make myself feel happy if I don't have this food? It's so good. I don't want to give it up. It's my little break throughout the day. It's my little slice of heaven. It makes me feel so good. Why am I even doing this tapping thing? I don't want to give this food up. Don't make me give this up. It's mine, so there. I don't know who I'll be if I don't have this food. Life just won't be as sweet. I won't feel as happy. I love this food. I don't want to give it up. All right, now take a nice deep breath. And again, go back to the food. Notice what you still like about it. Actually, I just, in the last sip, got like an instant headache kind of thing. And that's the other thing. I'm really sensitive to coffee, and I drink it and then it doesn't make my body feel good. So that's really interesting. This time when I drank it, I got it like an instant headache. So leave me a comment if you're still doing this live with me. Leave me a comment and let me know where you're at. We're going to do some final tapping on this. If you're at like a 5 or below, keep tapping and keep repeating out loud what it is that you like about it. So every single round of tapping, the aspect will shift. So it might be the nuttiness, and then it could be the sweetness, and then it could be the saltiness, right? There's a lot of different things that you can still like about this food, right? It will actually shift. And so you want to keep doing it till you get it down to a 0. So I just want you to repeat after me, because this part is really powerful. So I want you to think about all the love that you have for this food, right? I love this food. This food, it's like my favorite food. I love it so much. I don't know what I'm going to do without it. But the truth is, repeat after me, this food can't love me. This food doesn't know how to love me. This food couldn't love me if it wanted to. So I love this food, but it doesn't love me. That's usually a big reframe for some people, okay? So we put a lot of love in our food, but the fact of the matter is, it's just food. It just lies there. It can't love me. It never knew how. Chocolate's just chocolate. It just lies there. It doesn't do anything. And it definitely doesn't love me. Okay, cool. Mallory's at a 0. Issa says, wow, powerful. Cool. I'm glad this is shifting for you ladies. All right, so take another nice deep breath. Mallory's at a 0. Is there anybody else that's at a 0? Type it in the comments. Thanks for the little hearts. I didn't know you could do that. I don't know how you guys give me hearts, but if you like this, give me some hearts, I guess. I'm like, oh, I got my first heart. You can tell I'm like Insta Live not savvy. All right. Hi, Julie. So I'm going to talk about a couple things here that if you're still overeating, I don't know, if you follow me, if you've taken my 6-week program, you will have learned 6 of my most powerful techniques. We expand on those quite a bit in the advanced program, which we do have a couple spots available. We just had 2 people graduate, and we do have a few spots available. Go to thinkandthin.com to schedule a time to talk to us to see if that's a good fit for you. If you are like stressed out, if you're having a problem with food, if you're eating every night, if you're not feeling confident, if you've had a problem with food your entire life, I promise you we can fix it. This program goes super, super deep. You work one-on-one with a coach. You work in group sessions with me every month. I give you tasks. I'm good at keeping you on track and getting you down to a 0, so that usually within 2 to 3 months, 80 to 90% of your emotional eating and overeating is completely gone. So if you want some more help with that, go there. But I want to talk about 3 reasons that you're still overeating. And they're not reasons that I've ever talked about before, because I've sort of just discovered them in the last couple of years. And I'm really excited to start talking about this stuff. And again, I'm going to debut this new information in the at the live event that's happening in June. But I want to just kind of talk about and give you, sometimes information is really powerful, right? And, it takes somebody putting the pieces of the puzzle together for us to kind of figure out what's going on. And so one of the, so I'm just going to get into it. The first new reason, okay, because if you still have all the other programs that my 6-week program covers, you're probably going to need to fix those problems first. These are like new reasons beyond that. So the first new reason is that your body's numb. I want to tell you a story. It's something that I saw on the street a couple of days ago. There's this little girl. She was wearing a tutu. I live in Santa Monica, very close to the promenade, and I was walking on the street and saw her, and she was with her mom and her dad. She was wearing this little tutu, and there's all these people that play music in the street. And she starts dancing, and like, it was so cute. She was wearing this tutu. She's like being drawn to the music, and she's leaving her family to, go see the music. She's being drawn to the music, And I could just see her. She was adorable. She was feeling the music. She was moving her body. And her mom goes, I don't know what her name was. Jessica, get over here. And she just goes like this. And then she goes back to her mom. So I specialize in trauma work. The main reason that people struggle with food and your body is because you have all sorts of traumas like this. Some of them are very big traumas, like having an alcoholic parent or somebody physically abusive or being sexually abused. Or they can be little traumas like this that you would never remember. So this is going to be a trauma for this girl, this poor girl, and this happens to all of us, okay? Most parents don't know anything about this. So it's not our parents' fault either. This is just life. This is just psychology. This is just how we are raised. This is the world we live in. So what happened there is that girl was in her body. She was feeling the music. She was feeling really good. But then when her mom said, Jessica, get over here, it made her freeze and think that she's doing something wrong in that moment. So if you think about what that's going to do to that girl later on in life, whenever she feels good, an alarm system is going to go off in her head. An alarm bell is going to go off saying, it's not safe for you to feel good in your body. And so what that does is it makes your body numb. It makes you kind of freeze up. It makes you not want to move it very often. It makes you not really want to have a lot of fun. It makes you not want to receive pleasure. You can have problems sexually. You can not have orgasms or not like sex. There's so many ways that this trauma plays out. And again, this was just an instant. This was just a moment. I'm sure this isn't the first time that happened to that little girl. And I'm sure this isn't the first time that mom said that. And the mom probably didn't even realize it. The mom was probably scared that she's wandering off. There's, bums everywhere. There's crazy people. So, the mom is well-intentioned. She wants to look after her child. But when I saw that, it just reminded me of the deeper work that we need to do as women to actually feel the capacity of what our bodies can do. It's fucking amazing what our bodies can do. And we have no idea. Most people have not tapped into the power of their bodies. So here's another example. If you had, I know my dad did this to me. My dad sort of treated us like we were soldiers. So he'd be like, everybody, get in the car! Everybody, drop what you do right now, get in the car! And I'd be like, I'd be like coloring or something, like doing something like really fun and creative. And all of a sudden my body freezes up. I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go. Like, Dad's calling me. Right? So that's just another way that people, that we lose sight of being connected to our bodies. And what that does and how that makes us overeat is that we'll eat and eat and eat past our body's physical fullness. Like we won't even know how to feel full because we've never learned how to feel full. We've never learned how to feel our bodies. When we were feeling our bodies before, somebody said something, it traumatized us. And so now the message is it's not safe to really feel your body. So this is why a lot of people overeat. Other than the Clean Your Plate program, which is what I talk about in my 6-week program, this is another reason that people overeat past their stomach's fullness. And then, if you ever eat something and then you're like, like an hour later, you're like, why did I eat so much? I'm so full. This is one of the reasons. All right. Another reason, the second new reason that you're still overeating is that you can't understand what you need. This is something I have worked on a lot. And not being able to understand what you need, I'm going to explain this by giving you an example. So again, going back to when we were kids, when you think about being a kid, some of you probably have kids. When you think about kids, don't they just want everything? Like they're always like, Mom, I want this, Mom, or Dad, right? They're super needy, right? And parents sometimes they have multiple children. Like there's not just one of you, there might be several of you. And I'm sure if you're a parent, you'll attest to this. It's freaking hard to deal with kids always needing things, right? Because you also have a life. There's other stuff going on in your life. And so when you have a kid that is very needy and asking for things, a lot of times parents will lose their patience and they will say, stop it. No, we cannot have that. Okay, depending on the kid, this could make it stick in their head that it's not okay to have needs. The messaging that they receive is, if I need something, that's bad. So what it does is it deprograms them from actually being able to tap into their own internal needs. So here's a little exercise to know if you have this, because some people don't have these, right? These are like, not everybody has these traumas. What I want you to do is I want you to imagine being really, really little, and I want you to think about your primary authority figure. Okay, so who is the one that took care of you most of the time? Mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, aunt, uncle, whoever it is. I want you to see them big there, right? Because you're really little. I want you to think about yourself as like 3 or 4 or 5. You're really little. And I want you to put your arms up to them and say, Mommy, I need you. If that makes you a little bit sick to your stomach, that is how you know you have this. I'm sorry to do that. I'm sure that's going to trigger a lot of people. But that was one of the things that I started playing with, is understanding that when we have needs, when we ask for our needs to be met, we'll often feel guilty. And it goes back to this psychological programming of remembering when we were a kid. This is subconscious. As soon as we ask for a need to get met, we feel guilty, right? This is like, I'm still struggling with this as well. Like, I'm getting better and better at it. But this is very, very deep, especially with women. Oh my gosh, think about how many women, think about how many things that we do as women that we never ask for help for, right? Like, we've got a to-do list that's, a mile long, and we never think to ask anybody to help us. Because when we were kids, we felt guilty and ashamed. Like, I don't know if you ever had that experience, or if you can remember like asking for something and then like your parents going, "We don't have money for that. Come on, you know that we can't afford that." Oh man, that'll give you a whole slew of problems, right? Like, you'll have problems with money, you'll have problems asking for what you need, right? You'll have problems being vulnerable. So these are really, really important traumas to work on and to heal. And that is like, that's actually 100% of what the work that we do in my programs, is that we just heal these traumas. And I'm going to go a lot deeper into this, and we're actually going to do tapping for it at the live event in June. So if you want to come to the live event, go to BrittanyWatkins.com/live. And the price is going up on Sunday, I think. It's a super, super discounted price. You're getting it for my cost right now. And in order to fly all my people there and, for us to make a little bit of money as a company, we're going to have to raise the prices on Sunday. So if you want to get like a really good deal on it right now, go get it. All right. I'm going to talk about the third reason that you are still overeating. It might be that you're an empath. Okay, so this is, again, work that I'm just starting to explore. But most women, I would say, that struggle with overeating are actually very empathic. And it means that you feel very deeply, and you feel too much, and you feel not too much. You feel all the things going on around you. So you go into a party and there's lots of people there, or there's like a lot of energy and you're kind of like not mentally prepared for it. It can overwhelm you. You can end up feeling exhausted. You can have problems with closeness in relationships, where if you're with somebody for too much, you feel exhausted. You're like, I need some space. I need alone time. And this isn't an introvert thing. There's extroverted empaths as well. So this isn't just an introvert extrovert thing. This is an empathic thing. So one of the things that empaths do is they use food to ground themselves. Because if you think about it, so if you're an empath and you're watching this right now, I want you to just think about, where is your energy right now? Like, feel around your space. Since you're an empath, you're a feeler. I'm a feeler. I'm an empath as well. So feel around your space. Notice where your energy is. Mine is all fucking over this place, right? And so one of the things that, if you're not conscious of this, empaths will do is they'll get nervous and they'll get overwhelmed, and they'll think about food. Because what does food do? Food goes into your stomach and it grounds you, right? It goes into your stomach and it drops you to the ground and it calms you down, okay? So the next time you are eating food and you're not sure if you're hungry or not, what I want you to do is this little super, super short exercise, and then I'm going to end this because this is going on too long. All right, so I want you to, next time you want to eat and you know you're not really hungry or you're not sure, just imagine gathering up all of your energy and bringing it into your body. And really grounding yourself, like feel your belly, feel that core of your stomach. I'd have to do it a couple of times, just like gather up all your energy, bring it into your body. And then for me, I imagine like a beautiful shower, and turn on the shower and just imagine the raindrops going all over you, clearing out your energy. So imagine, like, what I love about a shower head is that you can turn the nozzle on so that it's It's coming. Have you ever had a shower? Like we've all had those showers that are like, oh, it's a really strong shower head. So I imagine turning it on really, really strong so that the water just like washes away all the yucky stuff. So just do that. So imagine a shower head like just clearing you out. And imagine that all the energy and all the yucky stuff is going into the ground. And the ground loves yucky stuff, right? Think about fertilizer. The ground literally thrives on shit. So give the ground all of your shit. Because what it does is it makes it into pretty flowers. All right. So those are my 3 new reasons that you might be overeating. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to come tap on this stuff, and if you want to tap with me live, we're doing something in June. So go to BrittanyWatkins.com/live. I would love to see you. I'm going to be debuting a bunch of new techniques that I'm really, really excited to share with you. And I'd just be happy to meet you and tap with you in person. So it's going to be fun. The space that we're doing at is absolutely beautiful. It's in the mountains. It's not in like a nasty hotel room with like a conference center and air conditioning. It's in a really, really beautiful, very serene, relaxing place, which is specifically why I chose it. We're going to be doing a lot of really deep, intense healing work. And I'm going to teach you my new boundary tapping technique, which this technique has changed my life. Holy crap. This has changed my life. I just taught my coaching students this technique, and I keep hearing stories like, I'm finally saying no to my boss. He makes me do this thing that I'm totally overqualified for, and I finally just didn't even feel bad. I just stuck up for myself. I just said no, and it just flew out of my mouth like it was natural. So these new tapping techniques really, really work. If you have problems with boundaries, if you have problems saying no, if you have problems taking care of yourself, if you have problems knowing what you need and asking for help, this weekend will help you in a very, very deep, very, very healing way. So, and actually these techniques, once you learn them, some of these techniques you only have to do once and it fixes your problem forever. Like, man, this stuff is so cool. I'm really, really excited to share it. Thank you for being here, and thank you for allowing me to just do this like little warm up on the information that I'm going to teach at the live event. So, and again, if you need some help now, if you're like overeating and you can't wait till June, we have 2 spots available in the advanced program. This is where you work with coaches that have been trained by me. They're freaking amazing. I hire only the best coaches. And you work with me as well. We do 6 months of an intensive. Within 2 to 3 months, you have absolutely no emotional. Well, I would say 80 to 90% of your emotional eating is gone. If your emotional eating, however much you're doing it right now, is 100%, you'll be at, 80 to 90% of it will be completely gone within 2 to 3 months. That is, I've been doing this for 8-9 years now, and that is absolutely always the people's experience when they actually use the techniques. So. Thanks for being here. I hope you got a lot of value out of this. I hope your cravings go away. Use this on lots of different foods too. All right. Bye, everybody.